This Solenopsis invicta fire ant queen has landed on the edge of a swamp. She may be far from her native habitat, but the fire ants are well known for their ability to adapt. Competition for food will be fierce. She will need to raise an army quickly to compete with the local predators. The colony lies in the shadow of a great titan to the north, an American bullfrog. This large female has found the perfect spot to feed. Sheltered by foliage and in the path of many wandering insects and smaller amphibians, she has no reason to move on. Eventually she will need to be displaced, but for now, the fire ants have more pressing business to attend to. Many of the milkweed plants growing nearby are infested with aphids. Their honeydew excretions present an ideal, energy-rich food source for the fire ants. Aphids far from the nest are vulnerable, however, and are sometimes relocated closer to home where they can be better protected from predators and thieves. The boggy soil surrounding the nest is lacking in nitrogen and phosphorus, nutrients vital for plants to photosynthesize and grow. To survive in this environment, some have evolved to supplement their mineral diet by trapping and dissolving invertebrate prey. A magnolia green jumping spider, Lysoman viridis, has ambushed a fire ant. It prefers to hunt on foliage, where it is less likely to be spotted by predators and prey alike. Out on the ground it's more vulnerable, but that won't stop it from snacking on lone ants far from the safety of the nest. A small colony of Phaedulae maurici big-headed ants have established themselves on a hill to the west. Scavenging for seeds, aphids, and dead insects, they are unlikely to pose a threat to the Invicta colony, if left undisturbed. A six-spotted tiger beetle, Cicindela sexcutata, is on the move near the nest. Its metallic green elytra make it unmistakable, and like its other tiger beetle cousins, long legs give it the speed to chase down small arthropods with ease. The battle has begun. The ants have set upon a green lynx spider, Puccetia viridans. She prefers to hunt on pitcher plants, but out in the open, she loses her advantage. Far from defenseless, however, when threatened she can spit venom up to 30 centimeters from her fangs. The fire ants have encountered a tribe of Monomoria minimum black ants. These tiny little ants may seem feeble, but the Invicta colony would do well to treat them with caution. Although primarily scavengers, they are armed with powerful chemical secretions and have been known on occasion to invade fire ant nests. The neighboring Monomoria minimum colony has launched an attack on the fire ant nest. As the sun sets, the local amphibians begin to emerge from moist crevices near the water's edge. Lone invertebrates will be picked off quickly. The ants should travel in numbers or not at all. A raiding party of little black ants are stealing aphids. They must be chased down quickly. A bombardier beetle, Brachinus alternans, is hunting for insects outside the nest. It may seem unwise for it to wander so freely amongst the large amphibians that share the swamp at night, but they would do well to leave it alone. This beetle is a master of chemical warfare. An ant has been devoured by Aurichea quadradicitata, a dwarf salamander. It is nimble, fast, and slender enough to wiggle through tight crevices in search of food. The ants have uncovered a group of hungry checkered beetle larvae. The soft grubs may look defenseless, but they have big jaws and appetites to match. At night, eastern narrow-mouthed toads patrol above ground looking for food. Ants make up 75% of their diet, so the small colony must stay alert. To make matters worse, they are excellent diggers. It's only a matter of time before one tunnels its way into the nest.
Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected. Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected. Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected.
A narrow-mouthed toad has burrowed into the nest. It may be small for a toad, but its appetite for ants is insatiable. Secretions from its skin burn any that manage to escape its projectile tongue. the salamanders and toads retire to their damp alcoves to wait out the sun. Only the great bullfrog remains. She sits patiently on her throne, waiting for the next meal to wander by. A wasp-manted fly, Climachala brunea, has descended from her perch into the path of the ants. Unrelated to true mantids, her spiked raptorial forelegs are a perfect example of convergent evolution. By linking themselves together, the fire ants have formed a pontoon out of their own bodies. It stretches from their home territory to a previously unreachable island, giving them access to new sources of food. The neighboring Monomoria minimum colony has launched an attack on the fire ant nest. A fully developed checkered beetle, Enoclerus rosmarus, has been disturbed by the ants. It has the same ravenous appetite and slicing jaws as its juvenile counterpart, but now paired with thick armor plates, it represents a far greater danger to the colony. The Monomoria minimum colony is almost defeated. The Invictor army must press their advantage. The little black ants fought to the last to defend their queen. Now the Invictor colony will enjoy the spoils of war. Defenseless larvae from the vanquished colony will be carried home and fed to the victor's own hungry brood.
The ants must defend themselves.
Defenseless caterpillars exposed on the underside of leaves are a welcome snack for the passing fire ants. The colony should take advantage while it can. Few meals surrender so willingly.
The colony is starving. There's not enough food to feed the new brood.
Once again, dusk sets in over the swamp. Soon, the sandy undergrowth will be teeming with salamanders, toads, and nocturnal beetles.
Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected. There are intruders in the nest. The battle has begun. There are intruders in the nest. The ants will fight to the death.
For the swamp amphibians, the nighttime feast is over. Toads give way to tiger beetles, and the ant colonies step up their activities. If the fire ants are to stand any chance of establishing a long-lasting empire, they must grow quickly. There is no time to waste.
The ants must defend themselves. The ants must fight. The fire ants and big-headed ants have met in their first skirmish. Sensing the new danger, the Maurici colony responds by awakening ancestral super soldier genes in selected brood, feeding them until their heads are engorged with muscle. The ants have been attracted to secretions of nectar produced by a yellow pitcher plant. In order to feed, however, the ants must position themselves precariously over a deep vat of digestive liquid. Waxy deposits on the rim ensure that any ant that steps too far in won't be stepping out again.
Maurici colony has fallen, their champions spent, and their queen vanquished. In the end, they could not stand up to the might of the Invicta army.
The ants will fight to the death. A wingless parasitic wasp, Dasimutilla occidentalis, more commonly known as the red velvet ant, has wandered into Invicta territory. Although not on the hunt for fire ants, it will defend itself if threatened. Armed with an extremely powerful sting and displaying bright warning stripes, most creatures give it a wide berth. Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected. Night approaches, and the predators of the day give way to their nocturnal counterparts. As they encroach on colony territory, battles must be chosen wisely. Spread too thin, the fire ants could find themselves quickly overwhelmed. The ants have clashed with a bombardier beetle. Feeling threatened, the beetle mixes a cocktail of chemicals that react together, boil, and explode from a valve at the base of its abdomen.
A false bombardier beetle, Galerita bicolor, is also on the prowl for small prey tonight. It impersonates the true bombardier to ward off potential predators, and its mimicry isn't simply visual. It too can spray defensively from its abdomen. In this case, the fluid of choice is the familiar formic acid.
Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected. The battle has begun. Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected. Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected. Staving off another night of attacks, the Invicta colony once again proves its strength. Despite this victory, there is yet one obstacle that stands in its way. Ever present, the bullfrog looms over the ants. The beast must be defeated. There are intruders in the nest. The workers have done all they can to improve these food stores. The colony is starving. There's not enough food to feed the new brood. The fire ants have mounted their first attack upon the great American bullfrog Litabates scatesbianus. The brave frontline soldiers are quickly crushed and eaten. They must surround and swarm the enormous creature to stand any chance of defeating it. Again and again, soldiers clamp onto the bullfrog's leathery skin and inject their Solenopsis venom, but the beast shows no signs of wavering. The fire ants must maintain their resolve. Overwhelmed with burning venom, the bullfrog finally succumbs to the might of the fire ants. Utterly spent, it collapses on the hillside, leaving the victors free to consume its body. Unbeknownst to the ants, the presence of the bullfrog was keeping many other local amphibians at bay. The power vacuum it left behind is attracting a host of salamanders and frogs eager to take its place. The ants should go to ground quickly and prepare for the imminent chaos. The workers have done all they can to improve these food stores. The Queen is in imminent danger. As the anarchy above ground settles and with the invaders crushed, a new order is established. This is now the domain of the Fire Ant.
I knew it. I knew it. With the proper exposure and stimulation, the mutation possibilities are boundless. The potential for amalgamation, which is, of course, an epistatic effect owing to increased cytoplasmic viscidity in
What are you doing?
preparing the report.
Can you not do it quietly? Perhaps try using the keyboard?
The keyboard. How quaint.
Ugh.